Hi, Mary Black from DeanandMary.com, and today I'm talking about prospecting. Prospecting is a little bit different for me maybe than it is for a lot of people. My prospecting is not just to sell something, but it's to get to know a person. It's to make a contact or to build a relationship. That's what I'm always working on. The buying and the selling comes as a result of the relationship. So when I'm speaking with someone, a prospect, someone that may be interested in working more closely with me, what I want to do is ask them lots of questions. Now I have Q-U-E-S-T, me and my spelling, ask them lots of questions. Now I got this the other day from somebody who's following me. Her name is Judy. And someone was interested in getting some training for her, and her question to me was, what training should I send him? Should I send a free webinar? Should I send a link to buy a training product? Should I send some information about my membership, or my primary company? What should I send? And if you don't know, when you get off the phone or you're at the end of a conversation with someone, if you don't know exactly what it is you need to send them, it's because you haven't asked enough questions. Sometimes we get so excited when someone expresses an interest in what we're working on that we just kind of get off the phone before we realize the conversation actually wasn't over. So Judy came back and she said, "Oh, great, this is an opportunity for me to learn something. What was the next question that I should have asked him?" Because this is the way they left it. She had told him, I talked to him about, how he was generating his leads, and, he basically expressed that he'd like to do better at that, and she offered to send him some information on that, and he said, yeah, that would be fine, send me, whatever you have on generating leads would be great. Well, that's really vague, and there's two reasons why that response was vague. Number one is because perhaps he wasn't really interested, and that's sort of a polite way to get someone off the phone as possible. The other thing is that maybe he doesn't even know exactly what it is that he needs or that he wants. So whenever you get a vague response, what you want to do is try to hammer that down to become more specific in what it is that they're looking for. Because if they're just trying to be nice and they're not really interested, you can very politely continue to ask questions and they'll let you know. You can sense it. But if they're really not sure what they're looking for, that's why they need your help. So you can ask more and more specific questions to help them get to what it is that they're really looking for. Now, what some of those questions might be is, how do you want to generate leads, right? Do you have any idea what you like to do? And you can go into some areas that speak with them about what ways they might online, offline, do they want to do paid advertising, do they want to do free lead generation strategies, are they looking for something that they might pay for monthly, where it's a membership where they can get ongoing training and support and tools to be able to generate their leads, because that will lead them to her lead generation system that I know she's a part of, or are they just looking for some one-time stuff, maybe some tips to help them be more efficient at what it is they're doing. This might be a paid product that they can buy one time. Or are they just at the beginning and they're trying to figure all this stuff out? In which case you might want to just send them to some kind of free webinar that can introduce them to what it is they're looking for, give them some basics about it, and then open up an opportunity for them to go further. Now, whatever the case may be, whenever you do pin it down to that really specific question, make sure you're prompt in getting them that information. Make sure you get it out quickly. Don't be 3 days. Send it out immediately, that day, in the next few minutes if possible. And the second tip is, don't forget to follow up. If you sent them something, you have done them a great service, a great favor. Follow up with them. Find out if it's what they were looking for, if it worked for them, if they enjoyed it, or if they want to dig deeper into what it is that you're working on. That's how you continue the relationship. And actually make sure that before you send out information, you get them on your list. Okay, if they haven't already opted into your list, if that isn't where you found them, I always tell people right up front, you want my help? You got to get on my list. That way you can continue to follow up with them for weeks and months and years, giving them free training value, getting them closer to you, and build that relationship the way that it needs to. I hope this was helpful. Keep those questions coming. There's a link below that will give you access to more of my training along these lines, or you can send me an email at mary@deanrblack.com, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions that you have. I'll see you on the next video.